Chamber on YouTube on the Fossil Vault channel. There's been a lot of questions over pictures and other things I've posted both here and on social innovation we're doing, but also about some of the fossils in the roofs of the cave and how they could have got there. So I thought I'd take a moment to sort of look at what we're finding so far, why the work is important, and show you some reasons why we can get fossils in the roof. So I'm going to turn the camera around and show you the excavation. So this is the excavation team. Everyone say hi. Hello, everyone. Live on YouTube. This is the Dragon's Back team. They look like they should have superpowers working in this space. So this is the area of Dragon's Back that we're working, concentrating, that I did a video on earlier on. And you can see this is one of the possible areas and staging areas for Homo naledi to get in. We'd never seen any fossils on the surface nor archaeological material. And so this was a blind excavation. Well, what's been wonderful is literally as soon as the team broke ground here in all the different squares, we started hitting fascinating things. There is evidence in Dragon's Back of cultural material that are relating to the abilities, the technical abilities of Homo naledi. And very excitingly, from right over there, if people can wave from around the corner, there were some Homo naledi remains found right there in that. So we've hit Homo naledi very shallow, very superficially, which is exciting, obviously, because that means that we have a space it's relatively easy to get to, that we can excavate, and maybe we'll consider working with some partners on allowing students to get experience here from all over the world, because I think we're now in a more workable space. Don't you think so, Dr. Moliapane?
Oh, yes, there's definitely more space. Way more space.
Particularly after my experience in Dinaledi, I now feel like a real fool for not having excavated here a long time ago after going. So there's a floor deposit. And as you all know, the Dinaledi Chamber and Lesedi Chamber are floor deposits just like this, and actually made of dirt like this as well. So they're very similar. However, the other day we discovered, and I'm going to turn my lights on now and turn my light on a little bit brighter, and we're going to go, over in this direction. Here you can see a John Hawks.
Hey guys.
Doing some work up there as he's doing some mapping and geological mapping. The fossils that we found were actually up here in the roof, and you can see my arrow going up to it. And there's the little mandible that we discovered right here. Let me see if I can get above it where my finger is without having the phone in place above it. And that's been above our head the whole time. We didn't recognize it because we didn't really see it in black light. So I'm going to turn my headlamp off and ask John to turn his off here. And then we're going to go to a black light look here, and now you can see, I hope you can see in the black light, how it just completely pops out, how it glows, how that tooth glows. It makes it very easy to see. That allowed us to see other fossils in this area, including around this corner, another, what looks like maybe a maxilla, but it could be a mandible. You can see the bones literally popping out of here. So this black light is a very useful tool for anyone who's doing cave exploration, because aragonite crystals and other things actually show up very, very nicely. But now to how can these fossils be in the roof and we be finding Homo naledi in the ground? Well, the answer in part is the unusual structure of the cave system here. And here I can show you that one of the interesting things about this cave system is actually the floors are a series of plates. You can see that plate running right here along my finger here. That was once a chert band extending out from the wall, and you can see those chert bands in the Dolomitic wall here. Those are 2.9 billion years old. But what they occasionally happens is that the dolomite above and below those chert bands erodes out and leaves a gap or space. And here's one you see here between the two. So it's almost, if you imagine that these spaces are actually like a high-rise building that has beginning to collapse and has many different floors in it. Some of the floors can be open, others can be filled with debris, either coming from the surface or from collapsed floors above them, or deteriorating as the dolomite itself deteriorates. So you can have a situation here where material infills into a layer like it has right here, and it can be held up by a chert band, which is now eroded away or fallen away, or that got a flowstone over it. And then there can be empty space like you have below us, and then you can have a floor again. Or you can have a situation where that the floor existed, a flowstone curtain formed like you see these here, and then an infill came later on. And I would suspect that's what we're looking at here. And the reason I would is that here's a flowstone, and the flowstone I believe is dated to 500,000 to 1 million years old. Is that right, John? This flowstone is 500,000, but you can see it peaks out of the rock here. And I think probably what had happened is that flowstone didn't form into the space, but that the flowstone was there and this sediment formed in. And of course, it's in that sediment that we are finding now these Homo naledi remains that are right here. And so that's how you can get in a space like this. You can get material that's above material and material that's below material. It could even be the same age, although I think in this situation, it's likely once we do all the work in this cave that we are we'll find that that material is actually older, and the material on the floor is somewhat younger than that. But I hope that helps in understanding both why black lights are kind of cool for finding fossils. They help us. They help material fluoresce, particularly teeth and bones, that allows us to see them. But also how we can get material in a roof and be excavating material on the ground. The very simple answer is caves are complex. That's all for now. I'll be signing off from this video. We'll bring you more as we continue to explore. I'm not done yet.